one thing that came out of this that was there are some decent people in the world, man. There are some people who will admit that they are wrong, and while they admit that they're wrong, they're willing to change. I'm getting ready to play a video for you of a Utah Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox. He was at a rally just after the shooting, and well, I'll play it. Let me play it, and you just listen into just a couple seconds of it. Here's Republican Lieutenant Governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, and he's speaking about how this event shifted his thinking with regard to his own homophobia and with regards to policies that he has previously supported that he now no longer supports. Let's listen in.
We will now listen from the Lieutenant Governor. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very humbled and honored to be here with you tonight. Loudly so you can hear in the back. I'm supposed to be in Miller County tonight, but this was too important when Jim asked me to come. I almost never write what I'm going to say, but about an hour ago I sat down and the words just came, and so I wrote them, and so I hope you'll allow me to read these. Thank you for being here tonight on this very solemn and somber occasion. I begin with an admission and an apology. First, I recognize fully that I am a balding, youngish, middle-aged, straight, white, male Republican politician with all of the expectations and privileges that come with those labels. I am probably not who you expected to hear from today. I'm here because yesterday morning, 49 Americans were brutally murdered. And it made me sad. And it made me angry. And it made me confused. I'm here because those 49 people were gay. I'm here because it shouldn't matter, but I'm here because it does. Now, I'm not here to tell you that I know exactly what you are going through. I'm not here to tell you that I feel your pain. I don't pretend to know the depths of what you are feeling right now. But I do know what it feels like to be scared. And I do know what it feels like to be sad. And I do know what it feels like to be rejected. And more importantly, I know what it feels like to be loved. I grew up in a small town.
I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to cut it there because at the end of this video, he said something that I want to point out. He said, think back to when you found out that 49 people were killed and think about how that make you feel. How did that make you feel? And then he said, think about what you thought once you learned that they were LGBTQ. And he said that if your opinion or how you felt changed because you found out that they were gay or lesbian, transgender, bisexual, he said that it shouldn't have, and that we have to look at ourselves. And if our love and concern for people only goes as far as how we agree with them or how we view them, then the problem isn't them, the problem is us. And I'm pointing this out because this is a Republican, right? This is a Republican with one of the most sincere, reflective responses to, and of course, I know I'm not saying Republicans are not human. I don't buy into that. But I'm saying out of everyone, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, a lot of the leading voices in media, out of everyone's response, this guy got it right because he used it as a moment to look at himself and say, I've been doing something wrong and I've been treating people wrong and the policies that I've been pushing are wrong. And he made an about face and said, because of this tragic incident, I now see my error and I'm changing it. I don't think that there's a more powerful example of what you're supposed to do with your life. It's to be able to admit that you've done something wrong and that you have been wrong and that you're literally changing your mind about what you used to believe. It's a tragedy that it took a tragedy for him to get to this point. But in the midst of this tragedy, we have a lot of people who are still the same exact way. And I feel that it's going to be the same exact thing with gun policy. I feel like we have a lot of people, and I want to know what this guy thinks about gun policy, right? Let's go one step further, right? You know, accepting the LGBTQ community is one thing, but now let's talk about gun policy. But I'll leave him alone for today. But I want to know, like, what are we going to do differently as a nation? What are we going to do? How are we going to look back and say we are changing the way we think and the way we treat people? Because if all we do is go tragedy after tragedy and not change a damn thing, then the next tragedy is on us. A plague on all of a pox on all of our houses. If we go tragedy after tragedy and we say the right words, but we don't change a damn thing. So that's why I wanted to point out this Republican Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox for really saying that I have been wrong. And now I'm changing.